audience, welcome to the PV show. It's Fuel for the Future. On this week's episode, we are going to have a discussion on elections. We know we are in election year and we need the right tools to be able to prepare for what is ahead of us. We'll be going to the polling station to elect a president for our country. You and I need to prepare for what's ahead. We'll be joined by Mr. Agbenyo. Audience, welcome to the PV show. It's Fuel for the Future. On this week's episode, we are going to have a discussion on elections. We know we are in election year and we need the right tools to be able to prepare for what is ahead of us. We'll be going to the polling station to elect a president for our country. You and I need to prepare for what's ahead. We'll be joined by Mr. Agbenyo. Hello and welcome to another edition of the PV show. It's Fuel for the Future right here on YouTube. Today we are here to discuss a very important topic, and as we know, we are already in the election year, and in some few days we'll be going to vote to power who we want to lead our nation, Ghana. Today we are privileged to be with Mr. Agbenyo, and for some of us, we know he's been very passionate about politics, and so we are going to discuss with him issues concerning this year's elections in Ghana. Mr. Agbenyo, you are welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Give us a little introduction of yourself.
Yes, so my name is Yaw Agbenyo, popularly called the Yaw Agbenyo.
Okay.
And I hold a Master of Philosophy in English Literature.
Okay.
Very passionate about youth empowerment, mentorship, and rural development.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So before we go to one of the trending issues that is happening in politics, first of all, we want to find out from you. This year's election is very close. What message would you want to pass on to the general public?
Yes. Elections are very important, and voting is very important as well. Not voting is voting.
Okay. Not voting.
It's also voting.
Me, for example, I can't remember. No, I won't say that on set. I won't say that on set. But if you have somebody who doesn't vote at all,
that person is voting too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you expatiate?
Yeah. So what I mean is that if you decide not to vote, then you are allowing, in quote, the fools to choose for you.
Okay.
In effect, you have also voted by recusing yourself from the voting process. You have also decided to vote, and that is your voting. Therefore, it is better you get involved in the process and go vote for who you think will be the best person to lead you. And that is it.
Okay. All right. So aside this, what other message would you want to pass to the younger ones? You know, during elections, you will see young people insulting parties, fighting. What message would you want to pass to them?
Yes. We want a peaceful election process. We want a very peaceful election process. That is not to say that people should be passive in the election process, but you have to be responsibly vigilant. I would want people to be responsibly vigilant, because as much as you are trying to maintain peace, someone is trying to take advantage of your peacefulness, your peaceful nature, to rob you of the right thing being done. You see, that is why I prefer telling people to be responsibly vigilant and not to relax or say for the sake of peace you just leave anything to go just like that. Now, on the other hand, it will be very irresponsible for any young person to be used as a political conduit by political shenanigans and wicked Machiavellian people to cause mayhem and trouble in the election process. So it is better for you to be safe than to be used for Machiavellian purposes by wicked hands. Yes.
Wow. It is better for you to be safe than use, the words are heavy, so.
Okay. Well, Machiavellian purposes.
Okay.
Yes, that's a word coined from the ancient philosopher Niccolo Machiavelli.
Okay.
So if we say you are Machiavellian, it only means you are being wicked.
Okay.
To put it that way.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
You are being wicked.
Okay. So then, how do we avoid? You know, sometimes some people can be very irritating.
Yeah.
You get to a place and people are talking about parties, and sometimes if you're not careful, some of the things they are saying, you'll be forced to try to comment. In situations like that, what do you do?
It is better to engage in meaningful and purposeful discussions. Okay, wise people, smart people engage in exchange of fact. We don't do politics with emotions. Okay, if you do politics with emotions, you are already setting yourself up for a long-term failure.
Okay.
So if you see some people doing politics with emotions, the best thing you do is to avoid their territory at all costs.
Okay.
Yes, avoid their territory. But if it is an exchange of ideas, let's compare fact. Let's discuss fact. The previous government, the current government, let's talk about current situations. What is the plan for the future? What are the manifestos saying? Okay. When you are discussing those things, there's nothing wrong with it. But as soon as it becomes an emotional exchange and you engage in emotional roller coasters, then you know you are in for disaster. So such discussions, I tell young people to avoid them at all costs.
Wow. Politics is not about emotions.
Not at all.
Try to avoid anything that will bring in emotions. Okay, so we want to quickly okay, let me ask this before we go to the trends. When the president elects, or let me say after the elections, whoever wins is announced, what should be our actions as citizens?
When we're going into an election, we have factions. As soon as the elections are over, we all become one and rally behind the person that has won the election. The mistake many people commit is because this person is not my candidate and he has won the election, therefore we become enemies. But that is not what it's supposed to be. After the elections, we all become one and rally behind who has won the election. You see, and then celebrations should be done responsibly. Celebrations should be done responsibly. You don't sit on motorbikes, riding recklessly, driving, sitting on top of taxis, jumping here and there. If you lose your life in that process, excuse me to say, that is foolishness. Raised to the power 10.
Wow. That is foolishness raised to the power 10. Yes, thank you. We are still on the PV show. It's Fuel for the Future. And we are still here with Mr. Agbenyo Yawo. Am I pronouncing it wrong?
Yes, you're right.
Yes. So we'll take a commercial break and we'll be right back.
The Pain in Making You Gold. Have you read it? By Mabel Faith Tano. It's a book you really need to consider reading. Yes, especially in this modern dispensation. And then she has this particular one too. Do you regret it? Do you regret it? So you can just pick the numbers down on the screens and give them a call. They'll be right at your doorstep.
Welcome from the commercial
Passion.
break. Yes, so we are going to delve into a very controversial topic right now.
Okay.
There has been this videos
Okay.
trending on social media, and this person is actually not a Ghanaian, but from another country. I don't want to mention, though people know what I'm talking about, but we've heard of this Equatorial Guinea sex scandal that is out there, and this man in question is a politician. So then, there are some few questions we want to ask someone who is passionate about politics. We want you to share some ideas with us on this. When there is a misconduct, misbehavior, someone who is a government official happens to do something to tarnish the image of a country or even the parliament or the president, what should be the right action to address such things?
Yes, the first thing is to set up a commission of inquiry.
Okay.
Okay. First, the Constitution sees every accused person as not guilty until proven.
Okay.
So this, we will take it as a mere allegation, because today, with the help of AI tools and all kind of editing softwares, someone, as we are seated here, someone can just pick our video and do something. You see the two of us together, and it will shock you. You get it? And so first, there has to be a commission of inquiry. Let the commission of inquiry go into the matter and see whether there is substance, whether there is substance of truthfulness. Let's establish the fact, so we don't end up hanging innocent souls. So after the commission of inquiry has done their investigations and brought out their report, then the rest of the procedure can follow. Then those who have to go to jail will have to go to jail. Those who have to be fined will have to be fined, and so on and so forth.
Okay. Okay. Now, with this particular video that has gone on, how does this incident impact the integrity of a country and impact the integrity of, let me say, the society, family, and even children?
In the first place, I have already established that this is it's still just an allegation.
That's true.
This is still just an allegation, because there has not been any commission of inquiry to establish the fact for us to know.
Okay.
And as to whether this person involved in this scandal is truly a government official has also not been established. There is a certain trend these days as a youth leader, and as one with a very large following of young people. Anytime there is a scandal, I want to get into details and know what is involved there. Now, what is going on is you can see that this has become a certain trend by which pornographic materials are
released,
proliferated. Okay, so it might not be a true leak, but you see a lot on the net, and they say a pastor has slept with a church member, but it is not a pastor that has slept with a church member. That is a pornographic, that's porn. But they won't tell you that this is porn. They have shared the link
to get people
just to get people watching, because if they tag it as porn, they know we would not watch it. So they will just tell you, oh, we are interested in scandals. Everyone wants to know. They say, oh, this president has slept with this person. Everybody will want to know. And you see, the more clicks there are, the more money people get. You see, so let's be careful. Let's be careful about following trends. When we hear there is a leakage, let's be careful about that. Then back to integrity and how things of this nature affect families and children. Look, if you are a family person, it is necessary for you to be very watchful of your movement. A family person. You see, you won't want to hear your children go out and then they say, oh,
your father has done this.
Your father has done this, your mother has done this. Look, that is the son of the woman who was seen in the video with another man. That stigma,
it will traumatize
you traumatize your children, you see. So it is very necessary for you as a parent, and not just as a parent, as someone with huge followers, okay, you need to protect your integrity at all costs. And you know your integrity is your name. And your name, I've always said that your name is the most expensive heritage you can leave for your children. Your name is the most expensive heritage you can leave for your children. Your name can open doors for your children, it can shut doors against your children. Therefore, every parent needs to be very cautious of their engagement out there just for the sake of their children.
Wow, this is deep. All right, so then let's talk about politics again. How does, looking at what has happened, can this affect the trust? Though we don't have, I've followed the news concerning this man, and there have been letters. I've seen one letter released by their president on his arrest and all that. This issue that has happened, how does it affect, or let me say, can it affect the trust of citizens for leadership or for government?
Certainly. You know, we've had examples in our own country here, and I wouldn't want to, for the sake of the show, I wouldn't want government officials caught up in all these scandals. And you see, as soon as you are caught in such a scandal, your respect diminishes. Even if it doesn't, it goes completely. You see, said that the next time you say something, everybody know you were caught here last time, and today you are coming to advise us on what. You see, so the integrity of governments hinges on the things they do in privacy, and it is a fact that when you get into politics, you will see the young girls who get into politics, they will come complaining to me, this person wants to sleep with me before giving me an opportunity, this person wants to sleep with me before giving me a TV appearance, and there is a lot in politics, a lot in politics. So if you're a young person, you want to go into politics, I always say that know the pedagogy of whatever you want to do. Know the pedagogy, I mean the principles and practice of what goes on there before you decide to go in. And so once you get in there, you will know that these are the expectations, these are the things that you would see, and how you are going to maneuver and meander your way through it.
Okay. Yes. All right. So we are about wrapping up. Looking at this whole thing, what message would you want to send to our younger people, and also a message to government with regard to, or let me say, those in leadership positions? What message would you want to pass to them with regards to things in relation to this?
Politics is an opportunity to make the lives of people better. That is all I understand about politics. For me, politics is just an avenue to enhance the standard of living of people. If you are in politics with any different other motive, then you are at the wrong place. You are at the wrong place. It's because people enter into politics with different kinds of motives, different from enhancing the lives of other people. That's where you see them killing each other, crumbling for power. Why are you rushing with all of that? You see, if you don't invest in human development, every other thing you acquire on this earth, at most 50 years after you are dead, what you acquire for yourself is gone. The best you can do is to invest in human resources, invest in people, invest in people, invest in human resource. Look out for the less privileged and change their life. I do say that the only the only thing that makes you relevant is to change the course of other people. Say, for instance, if we say somebody has been a very bad person, bad everywhere, and that person comes in contact with you, for you to be different from the others, you have to change the course of that person, so that this person can stand somewhere and say that because of this guy, because of this woman, I was going X direction, but now I have changed to Y direction. And that is what makes you relevant. Without that, then you are also just existing like everybody else and not living.
Wow. Thank you very much. We are so grateful to have you on the program. But before we leave, your final words. We've spoken about politics, we've spoken about the scandal issue. Your final words. So,
there is a difference between living and existing. Living is making impact, changing lives, transforming destinies of families, transforming destinies of young people, transforming destinies of women, children. That is what makes you a living being. Anything other than that, where it's all about yourself, where it's all about accumulating wealth and amassing wealth and getting this and getting that, then you are just existing and not living. So my charge to you young people is to find your purpose, discover the major reason for which you were born. And once you discover that purpose, Martin Luther King Jr. said, I have been to the top of the mountain. I have seen the promised land. Nothing matters anymore. And that will be your life. Thank you.
thank you so much for joining us, and thank you very much, Mr. Agbenyo, for your time. We are really grateful. And to you, lovely audience, thank you so much for staying glued to this program. It's Fuel for the Future, and we are fueling up for what is ahead of us. We cannot afford to just waste our lives. We need to live our lives in a way that we can make impacts and be revived for what is ahead of us. Thank you for joining us, and don't forget to hit the subscription button to subscribe. Have a wonderful evening.
Subscribe to the PV Show. The PV Show is the show for the future.